Merry Christmas, and welcome to episode 1 of the Zoophiles, a series where I seek to do my part in helping to bring into the light some of the sickest individuals both on and off the internet. I'm not going to commit myself to any sort of schedule for this series, as the topic does take a significant toll on the mind and liver, but I do hope to make semi-regular installments on the channel. For the time being, including this video, I have 2, potentially 3 videos that will be out within a few weeks of this one, which will be followed by a break from this subject. I suppose you could consider this a limited series with the potential for a sequel. Hopefully, between the puking and the rage, we can all have a few laughs as well, and perhaps even make a positive impact, however small, in the lives of the people and animals that these sick freaks spend their lives abusing. As we navigate throughout this series, I'm going to repeat this disclaimer. No one on the internet is a hero. If you come across information about these people that could lead to their identification and arrest, keep your mouth shut and go straight to the police. There will be plenty of time to revel in their misery after they're thrown in a prison cell and their victims are safe and sound. I have no intention of going on a crusade with these videos, however justified it may be. If I stumble across incriminating information, I will quietly pass it along to the authorities. The purpose of this series is to shed a light on the dangerous people abusing animals, and often children, unimpeded right before our eyes. As with many other videos on this channel, a special thanks goes out to the users, staff, and High Chancellor of Kiwi Farms for the untold hours of work they've put in researching and exposing these monsters. For the first few installments, I will be covering a variety of interconnected characters and their disgusting crimes against God, man, and beast, all centered around one man who can be considered one of the most infamous zoophiles of the last decade, a man that was integral in establishing the nightmarish hellscape that is the zoophile community today. The content of this video is graphic, disturbing, and highly upsetting. Viewer discretion is advised.
Blowing kind of cold out here.
Zooier Than Thou is a podcast that promotes animal abuse under the guise of advocating for loving and healthy relationships between humans and their pets.
That's the big difference.
If that sounds a bit confusing, a quick look at the About section of their YouTube page is all you really need to know about the vile creatures that host this show. Zooier Than Thou is yet another monthly podcast covering the zoophile community and all things zooey and wonderful, featuring current events, dating advice, and insider tips on rubbing shoulders with the Zooluminati elite, all with a great deal of silliness. Zooier Than Thou sets itself apart from the pack with an openly positive and joyful interpretation of what it is to be a zoophile. The juvenile attempt at levity in this description makes it all the more disturbing. Now, it's at this point in the video where most YouTubers would launch into a pedantic, drawn-out explanation about why it's not okay to rape animals. Personally, I'm not going to do that. Call me crazy, but in my experience, the vast majority of people don't really need some dipshit that parades around with an anime avatar explaining to them why they shouldn't go balls deep into the family dog. That's just one of those things that seems to be hardwired into our brains. Instead, I'm just going to give everyone a little glimpse of what is, at the time of recording this, currently available on YouTube for anyone to go and watch.
It is sort of a wrong approach. But you don't really want to talk about why zoophiles. You don't know why zoophiles are, but that's not the point of your videos. I'll let you off the hook, but you should know. If you don't know,
the first episode was actually an attempt to troll their fellow zoophiles. It was also one of Fausti's countless attempts to seek attention, a lifelong habit. On March 7th of 2019, the account Exposure Solution was created on Twitter. Immediately, the account tweeted out the following thread. On March 20th, 2019, we will be launching a podcast, the first of its kind, dedicated to exposing the zoo community for what it is. We want outrage. Help spread the word. We're going to start a movement and change the conversation forever. Join the hashtag hate party. How do you join the hashtag hate party? Easy. Use the hashtag hate party tag on Twitter. Follow us and check out our site, expose.id. Tell everyone exactly what you think about zoophiles. And of course, tune in to the first episode of our podcast, The Exposure Solution, on March 20th. So the idea here is that those they